Alright, here we go for part 2 of 3 on the Slava 2428. We're going to continue putting this movement back together. We got a bridge and a couple of wheels to put on. We have the winding gear right in the center of the shot there. We have to put that in, and the balance, all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this little guy here. I'm going to call it the second hand pinion. We're going to put a little lubrication on that and feed that in, and that'll get both of those jewels. Okay. We like to make sure we don't have any dust or lint, dog hair on the parts. So I give it a little blast with the blower. Check it, make sure there's nothing in there. Okay, it's in the shot. You can see where that's going to go. I think you can. Pretty obvious where it goes. If I can just manipulate the thing right. There we go. Okay. Before we move on, let's put our winding gear on, if I can locate it. Okay. There's our winding gear. Let's get it in the shot, people. There you go. Very good. And we're going to put a little schmutz on the inside of that. Not the real schmutz. Grease, oil, lube, whatever you want to call it. Let's wipe that off. There we go. Doesn't take much to lubricate these tiny parts. Okay. Okay. This is a left-handed screw. It has 2 additional slots milled into it to let you know it is left-handed. So I am going to turn it to the left to tighten it. Okay. And if we just nudge that the tiniest bit, that winder, you can see those gears nicely. Just a touch. Look at that spin. Beautiful thing. That's nice when that happens. Makes you feel like you're getting something done. You're progressing. Whatever. Okay. This is our escape wheel. That's going to go in next, like so. This next bridge is going to encompass this pin and this pin, or axles or shafts or staff, whatever you want to call it. It'll get those the second pinion gear and the escape wheel captured. If I can get that to settle. I think it did. Okay. Relatively easy bridge to put on. Doesn't take much finagling. I do see something that I don't like, and I don't know what it is. Take a look. Right in this mounting hole for that bridge, we have, looks like schmutz, dirt. See that? That is a lint fuzzball. How did that get in there? You gotta watch out for these things. Drive you nuts. All of a sudden there's a piece of lint floating around the house. Alright. At least it wasn't in the hairspring. Okay. Let's get this in the shot, and we're going to drop in that movement, bridge. And if everything lines up nicely, which I don't think it has, or maybe it has. It seems to have a little wiggle to it. I don't like that wiggle. I'm not liking that. Let's get it in the shot. Okay. Why don't we have that lining up? Looks like the escape wheel isn't seated. Okay. Let's take this off. Let's find out what isn't seated, or what isn't sitting right. I think that escape wheel just dropped in. Funny how that works. You'll know when something falls in to place. It'll snap, it'll drop in, it won't move. You'll get a feel for it. It's subtle, but if you look, that bridge has no wobble anymore. So that's a good sign. We don't want wobbling bridges. Okay. We got a screw on this end, and a screw on this end. Okay. Fall in. Got a piece of lint on that. It's amazing where that lint comes from. Fuzzy stuff. The occasional dog hair. Okay. Hopefully these videos aren't boring you too much. I'm trying to keep them moving along. Now, let's give that a click and see what that escape wheel does. Look at that. I just nudged it tiniest bit and that thing spins beautifully. Okay, I'm going to come out just a bit here and refocus. We're going to put a little bit of schmutz on that, on those jewels. We're in the shot. Okay. I like it. Okay, one more bit of schmutz. On the escape wheel. We're going to come over, do the other side. Okay, where is that escape wheel? It's right there. Is it in the shot? It is. I didn't even check it, and it is. Guess I'm doing something right. Go figure. We got some there. Patience. Take your time. Work slowly at first, and you'll get the hang of this. It took me quite a while to get proficient, and even then, I don't think I'm that proficient. I'm just methodical, taking my time. All right, what do? Just a Just a touch of that. I'm not even hitting a click. I'm just putting pressure into that mainspring. And look how easy that train runs. Nothing is binding. Boy, that is slick. I think that's pretty nice. I like these movements. Always have. They work nicely. Okay. Where are we going next? Let's put the pallet fork in. I know you're all thinking, hey genius, the pallet fork goes next. Yes, it does. Pallet fork and its corresponding bridge. Everything's all clean and spiffy, ready to go. This is a cool looking pallet fork. Let's drop it in there so you can see it. That's cool looking. That's got a shape to it. It's actually upside down. Let's turn it over. Let's get the better tweezers here, people. Maybe it's time for a drink. A little Sauvignon Blanc. That's right. Lubricate the watchmaker first. Okay, drop it and then pick it up again. There you can see that odd looking bugger. Okay, enough. We've all seen it. Let's move on. Having trouble difficulty focusing. Okay. We gotta turn this around. Come on. These pens are so precise on these jewels. If you don't go straight in on it, it won't go in. And when it does, you'll feel it. You'll get that feel. Okay, here's our bridge. It has 2 pins for alignment purposes on the back side. Let's get a shot of that. There's 2 pins and 2 screws. I got a bit of lint on it. Let's give it a blast with the rocket. There we go. Is this coming in the shot? It is. Okay. Steady hands. Okay. You'll feel when that goes in. It just feels good. You know it. Plus, the shaft is coming through that jewel. And if you come in here to the tail end of that fork, it's not moving when you give it a little pressure up or down. So our bridge is set. I got a little bit of the shakes today, probably from an abundance of caffeine and donuts in the lab. Yeah, I know. Too many donuts. So I'm all sugared and caffeined. That's why I got a Sauvignon Blanc next to me. That'll slow me down. Not much. Okay. There's one screw, barely tightened. I can locate the other. Here it is. Okay. Snug them up. Outstanding. Let's focus. Now we're going to wind this. If you want, after putting in your pallet fork and you wind this and everything starts turning, you got a problem, because that fork is supposed to block that escape wheel and lock it. And the old test, give it a nudge and it snaps to the end. They call that, I don't know what they call those pins, banking pins, I don't know. Doesn't matter. So we're up to this point. Before we put the balance in, we're going to give the pallet fork some oil. Not schmutz. Tiny bit there. Come around to the other side. If you saw my other videos, I forgot to do it on that one. I had to take it apart and reach in there and take care of that. Forget which one that was. Another reason to go slow and to take your time. Think 2 steps ahead and 1 step back. Okay, what am I doing next? What did I just do, and is it going to work? Like our keyless works yesterday. Test it as you go, and if you don't, you might have to take a lot of stuff off to get to it. Let's put in a few more clicks in that. We're going to drop in the balance. Okay. Is that coming over on the, yes it is, there it is. So we just nudge that and it snaps over. We have a bit of fuzz right there. We're going to walk a piece of Rodico over this later. That's another thing I like to do. When I'm all done, take a piece of Rodico, go around, just don't pick up any oil. Every now and then you'll get like a piece of lint or fuzz or who knows what. Picks it right up. Okay. Next, we're going to put in our balance. This is running on 17 minutes. So maybe we'll stop after this. Okay, we're going to push it all the way to that side. And then I'll do the next part of the next video on the date complication. And I'm thinking of trying a different method, but I'm not sure it's going to work. I think I've tried it before and it didn't work, but I'm going to revisit it. So who knows what's going to happen. This is coming over. Good. Whoopsie. Look what I'm doing. Oh, I'm putting it in wrong. I'm thinking I'm doing a Vostok. These are opposite. We're going to come in this way. We're going to come around like that. You know what? I'm not liking that either. We're going to move that back. No, we're going to keep it here. See? It's just time consuming, tedious. Sometimes it just doesn't work for you. Oh my goodness. There we go. It's one of those days. It's actually one of those weeks. Are we in the shot? Notice that wheel, that balance doesn't move. I'm not engaged in the pin properly. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. Half my problem is I'm trying to make sure it's in the shot for everybody. Okay. That's half my problem. I'm trying to look at the screen and not look at my work. Come on. Now that's a good sign. It's amazing how forgiving those balance springs are. Not but yeah, balance spring. Hairspring. They are very delicate, yet very forgiving. I mean, you can't bend them too much, but when you install one of these balance assemblies, you really think, man, I'm going to ruin that spring. But it doesn't. It lays in there as long as you don't bend it or stretch it too far. You saw all that manipulation I was just doing. Got a few clicks into the main springs. We still got to put our top jewel and top stone in, but I'm gonna do that when I shut this off. But you can see with a few clicks this is turning nicely, clicking away. So after this we're going to do that date complication, the cannon pinion, the rest of the movement, and we should have this done in 3 parts. So see you next time.